Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming.
Welcome to the latest edition of
Two having fun over there?
A little bit. Bill's got a sound machine. Was making some fart noises and such right before we went on the air, so always a good time.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. The October 24th edition. Bill Bryant, Tim Wood. Bill Bryant, always appropriately attired.
Go Sox.
Sporting the socks. Now listen, can you logistically, can you watch the whole game?
No.
I can't do it.
Just had this discussion.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's not even logistically. It's like I can't sit through this for 4 hours.
I can't. The stress.
No, just
the game itself.
4 hours of that.
See, now can't. I just can't handle the stress. I can't handle the drop. I mean, I love
this stress.
Everything
There's been no stress.
Everything I love about it.
That was a good game last night.
Yes.
Pull that mic closer for me, Bill. Come on, you've been doing this for 2 years.
Everything that I love about it is everything I hate about it. So this is my best friend.
Yeah.
Because I just keep it on ESPN, keep refreshing, keep the second stream on here on PlayStation View, and
so I'll use a DFS phrase. You can't sweat it out.
Right.
What do you mean?
In DFS, they call it sweating it out when you're watching the live scoring as you're going. And I don't sweat out DFS. I don't watch it.
See, I don't sweat out fantasy except for Monday night.
Yeah.
Monday nights suck, and I was in another one of them this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had Sanu and Barkley. He had Jones and Sterling Shepard. So I'm up 30 points. I think I'm fine. And then Sterling Shepard goes off. And I end up beating him by like 2 because thankfully Barkley got a little bit.
That last pass?
Yeah.
I was up 18. The guy I was going against had a Falcons defense, and up until the mid-third quarter, they had 17 points.
Right?
I'm like, there's no way I'm losing to the Falcons defense.
Can I tell you this? These are boring DFS stories.
Yeah.
But I lost a playoff game once with Green Bay, with Brett Favre trying to do a quarterback sneak to get a first down to continue possession and ice the game. He got stopped at the line, couldn't make progress, flipped on his back, and lateraled the ball back to my running back, who fell on it for a 2-yard loss, and I lost the game.
Oh, jeez. And see, and they would I love bad beats on SVP.
Yeah.
They would do just as well with a fantasy version of bad beats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean...
There's 100 stories.
Oh, my gosh. And it's every week. I mean, just that 70-yard pass to Shepard at the end probably killed a lot of people. Anyway, we're not here to talk fantasy football, although it has been fun in the Loop Weekly.
And I think the people that say they stayed up late are lying. You'll know if someone stayed up late multiple nights in a row to watch the Red Sox go
just
this
look
late.
at them.
Because they don't talk about it. They just look at.
But this is low stress. They've been playing so well, handling these games.
That was not low stress until the 8th inning with Nunez.
Yeah.
I mean, until that happened, it was like when
Joe Kelly on the mound was a little stressful for me. That's right after that is when I.
And, I had this discussion with John at Bada Bing. I had this discussion because I am still of the mindset. I'm still of the pre-2004 mindset.
Sure.
I'm still waiting. I still have that in my head that it's all going to fall apart. The Benintendi catch against Houston.
Yeah.
I was like,
but
how many times have a Red Sox team missed that catch?
I understand, but as quote-unquote cursed, and I hate that whole thing, as quote-unquote cursed as the Red Sox used to be, this team is charmed. Everything has gone the Red Sox way this year.
Absolutely.
Everything.
And we'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it. But, listen, whether it's sitting through the whole thing logistically, whether it's just the stress level and just having that waiting for the bottom to fall out sort of feel again.
Relax and enjoy it. This is going to be a cakewalk.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see tonight.
Yep.
Price, Ryu.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
He won't make it out of the third.
All right, so
I'm questioning Rich LaRochelle. He said he stayed up. If you stayed up, you don't talk about it.
No, if Rich said he stayed up, he stayed up.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, we all did. Who didn't?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No. Went into the bottom of the ninth. I knew it was over. Yeah, I went to bed.
I was out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, and we'll talk about this tomorrow on Looped In Live. Going to have Val Davila in the studio, and we're going to talk about A Star Is Born, and we're going to talk about The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh.
Now, if you have not seen this series yet, folks, it's on Netflix. It is done by Dan Flanagan, I believe. Flanagan is his last name. He is a up-and-coming horror producer, but it's not really a horror thing. But it's just spooky. It is so well done. It's one of the highest-rated shows of the season, and for a reason. And here's the kicker: there's a Methuen connection.
Uh-oh.
Like the whole thing centers around this haunted house and this family. Have you seen it at all?
No.
This haunted house and how this family is affected by living in this house. And it goes back and forth between when they're young and when the 5 kids are older, and so one of the siblings runs a funeral parlor in Methuen, Massachusetts. So the Methuen connection, not real. We're still trying to figure out. I've talked to the creator on Twitter a little bit. Trying to figure out how he's from Salem, Mass. We're trying to figure out. And Rich, stop it with Yes, I'm through episode 7. We're finishing it tonight. Everybody tells me episode 8 is where it gets just off the hook. It's 10 episodes. If you haven't seen it, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. It's phenomenal.
Couple of senior nights tonight.
Yes, volleyball senior night tonight.
Going on right now.
Yep.
Against North Quincy Raiders.
Yep.
1-1 when I left.
Okay.
I dropped Julia off at the high school because the Students Against Destructive Decisions was having their big
Week.
Red Ribbon Week. Red Ribbon
Week.
I almost said
Wesley Wabbit.
I almost said Red Wedding.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Nice.
Red Ribbon Week dinner tonight.
That'd be a great prom theme, wouldn't it? Red wedding?
Yeah.
Wow. Or
right?
Or wedding. But yeah, and then the boys' soccer senior night, I believe, was postponed from yesterday due to that intense lightning and craziness.
It was crazy.
So the girls' soccer had
40-degree lightning storm?
Yeah, it was no joke.
Yeah.
So
I was on the air here last night. This building was rocking and rolling.
I bet.
Yeah.
What were you doing last night?
Phil's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The empty chair
show. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, you got the boys' soccer tonight as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So Matt had said he'll give me updates from that as they roll in.
Want to give you some updates as well on some seasons and some scores going on. Also want to tell you on the show tonight we have Ricky Brutus and Isaac Frederic from the MHS Rangers football team getting ready for a big playoff tilt heading to number 3 Acton Boxborough. The Rangers, the number 6 seed in the Division I North playoff bracket, so they will head there for Friday night. And we'll also have members of the MHS golf team in later.
Coach Sims,
Coach Jason Sims, Devin Coonrat, and then a couple other guys.
Maybe one of the players.
One other player? Okay, yep. Cool. All right, so that's who we're going to have on. I want to tell you about girls soccer. Girls soccer with a 4-0 win on Monday at Lawrence. Bellacchini 2 goals, Caitlin Risley and Emily Fiore with 1 goal each. Goals assisted by Stephanie Tadogno, Risley, Emily Donovan, and Emma Kwong. 3rd win of the season for the Rangers. They finished their season Friday versus Lowell. Field hockey, a 6-0 win against Haverhill. Claudia Crow 2 goals, Piper Hughes, Lily Zins, Grace Del Rossi, and Nielis Maestra with goals. Izzy Putnam with 4 saves. The Rangers finished the regular season on today. So maybe we get some updates from that as well. They're playing against Bedford. They are 9-6-2 currently. With the win over Haverhill, they are in the playoffs.
Yep.
Seeding for the playoffs will take place Monday, October 29th. Playoffs start on Halloween. We'll see where that goes. All 9 wins for the Rangers have been shutouts. So interesting stat there. And then the Haverhill game, both teams started the game playing without one player in honor of Haverhill's Jordan Rankin, who was killed in a car accident earlier in October. So a great tribute to the Rankin family and just solidarity by the Rangers and Hillies there. Connor Bryant, the Week 7 MVC MVP for MVC Gridiron Weekly.
Yep.
Got out the vote that Bryant family did.
I was going to say, how many came outside
Twitter,
of the Bryant
Twitter,
family?
you only have maybe 1, 2, 3 Twitter accounts, so
Yeah.
you can't count for 220 of them.
No, it certainly wasn't all you, but yeah, I mean,
Bill
we
became
had
familiar with the term burner account this week.
yes, we had about 600 votes total. IP addresses, I only traced about 400 of them back to the Bryant family, but nonetheless, 53% of the vote. Congratulations to Connor.
Brutus won week 1, right?
Brutus won, so we have 2 Ranger wins.
Hey, I will say this. I know I'm on the show, but I don't select who.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And I don't.
And by the way.
And I don't vote.
And by the way, this wasn't just us. The Boston Herald also selected Connor as one of their Division I Stars of the Week. So, congratulations. Listen, that was a big game. Okay,
It was.
That was a big game. Statistically, a big game just in terms of just not falling into the trap, and he put up some crazy numbers. 176 passing, 134 rushing.
Yep, 2 running.
Yeah.
And when Brutus is sitting in here with 3 touchdowns and he's not getting mentioned like he has been all year, you know Connor had a big game when Ricky scores 3 touchdowns and he's here tonight.
Wow, you're kind of jabbing him a little bit.
Who?
Even before he's even in the studio, Ricky.
No, just saying he had a nice big night himself.
He did.
And
Stop apologizing, Dad.
No.
So-
Kid's a good player.
Yes.
You're a good dad.
Yes.
We all get that. We all get it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well said, Lou.
Yeah.
I agree with Lou. Swimming, 93-85 win over Draken on Friday, October 19th.
that's an up-and-coming program right there.
I mean, and Jason Smith, just a great coach for softball, does the same thing with swimming and diving. Their record, that brings their record to 6-4. They won 8 of the 12 events. Ava Facella, Kyra Donahue, Paulina Encarnacion, Samantha Denaro, they won the 200 medley relay. Katie Lefebvre won the 200 free. Julia Galuska won the 200 intermediate. Quang Vu won the 100 free. Callie Legvold won the 500 free. Denaro Encarnacion Facella Donahue won the 200 free. Cara Davidson won the 100 backstroke. Facella Lefebvre, Galaska, and Davidson won the 400 free. So congratulations to all of those players. As we mentioned, senior night for girls volleyball. We'll keep an eye on those scores. Cross country ran at the Catholic Memorial Invitational on October 20th. What were we told? Xavier?
Yes.
Xavier Metavier finished 7th. Sam Flint finished 17th. J.R. Bozic finished 28th for the boys.
J.R. Bozak.
Yeah, right. Sarah Fragioni finished 9th for the girls. Laura Abreu finished 44th. And a huge congratulations to Sarah Fragioni, the aforementioned, who has decided and been accepted to attend Dartmouth.
No.
Dartmouth. She's going Ivy. She's going to
Nice.
run. She's going to be all academic there. She's one of the top in her class. We've talked. Have we talked to her, by the way?
No.
Parents are going
I've
to be
talked to
working
her
at Bada
with
Bing.
the. I've talked to her with the. Yeah.
Her parents are going to be working at Bada
Right?
Bing trying to pay that off.
Serious. So I've talked to her with the pay. We got to get her in here before
Yeah.
she graduates.
We
Good
do.
for her.
Quite an athlete. Quite a. Just quite a story in general. And then we mentioned, we'll do some preview. Number 6, Methuen at number 3, Acton Boxborough. Acton Boxborough, number 6 in Boston Herald's top 25, right below North Andover. Scored at least 28 points in all 7 games. Put 48 up against Cambridge, so we know they can score, the Colonials.
Yep.
Tough place to play. New stadium?
Not sure. They've had
I believe it's a new field.
Okay, they've had a turf
Because
field
I feel
all
like
along.
this was. I'm seeing a lot of our first game on the new field tweets out there on the Twitter. So, And we will obviously talk more about that with the gentleman on deck. What else? What else cooking? You made it through last week. Great job. Great show.
That was good. Jules stole the show, and you know, Lou was
terrific.
Lou was super helpful as far as working the room with the captains.
Yep.
You know, that was fun, and you know, that was my secret weapon for Julia being here. But those are 4 great girls. But it was definitely just making sure you kind of keep everyone in check and answering great questions. But they were your question afterward. It was the first show that next morning I got up 5:30, did my why, listened to every piece of it, and you had the best question. You know, talking about just where does the leadership piece come from?
Right.
And I thought that was fantastic. That was a great.
It felt
show.
like it's not that it didn't come naturally, but it felt like they had put some thought into it, and I wanted to know the thought process, what they get out of it.
And then the coach just sitting back, like, stop talking to me. I want this to be up with these 4 girls, and that ton of respect for that.
So we'll get to your comments as well. Lorraine Anthony, Connor got her vote.
Yep, Lorraine's good people, great people.
What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Nothing. No, I think we're okay.
I mean, senior nights are kind of take over the week.
Just let me ask you, how many years has this new format's been for high school football? Has been in effect, what, 4 years, 3 or 4 years? How do you like this? With the 7 games and out, and then a couple weeks before the Thanksgiving game, and
so I will
still
say this,
seems weird.
As a Thanksgiving guy who grew up with that, in the beginning, I'm like, oh, they're ruining it. It's already gone.
Yeah.
The teams that have played each other in the past, that's all changed. Get rid of it.
You feel like the Thanksgiving steam was already out? You know, the Thanksgiving thing is just not a thing anymore?
For me, growing up, it was Lawrence Lowell.
Yeah.
You know, and then
You mean it was out before they put this format in?
But for someone who played in it, it wasn't. But, you know, now that it's I'm past it, now that teams are changing and that the opponents are not what they used to be, and it's hurting.
The rivalries are changing.
It's hurting the playoffs because, you know, Drake and Methuen are going to play. Say one of those 2 teams is in the playoffs.
Right.
And they're going to continue. That game is going to not be played.
Yeah.
JV is, for one side or the other, is going to play that game. And that part of it, I think that's where you got to take a long look and say, what's more important, a game on Thanksgiving, which any football game on Thanksgiving, if you like high school football, you like your city, you go.
Yeah.
The matchup isn't as important.
Right.
It isn't. So I'd rather have a truer playoff. And I think some really good articles have been written, you know, on Twitter and the Herald about, you know, too many teams are making the playoffs. They have 5 teams or 4 teams.
You got an 0-7 team Triton in the playoffs this year, and listen, they played a tough schedule. They earned some points in the middle of that.
But like you said, kid had a good game. Give it to him. Good kids and all that, but they were 0-7.
Yeah,
they didn't win, and they were in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and what do you get for that? You get a number 1 ranked team. That's not really a good reward for going 0-7. A team that you already lost 42-0.
But.
No.
I mean, Malden Catholic beat Lynn English.
Right.
I'm just, to me, these things happen. It's the same kind of mentality as the hoops tournament.
You go 7-0 and you get the points to be ranked 1 and 2. You know what? Have a bye then. You know, give them a week off or whatnot, or
do a plan,
or do top 6 and
you don't have a week
to
do that.
You have some issues in terms of the number of teams making. You have some issues in terms of the schedule of it. Play 1 more regular season game and forget about Thanksgiving. What do you do?
I like I can't think of the guy that sat here on the
Matt Feld.
Matt. You know, maybe you have to have at least 3 wins to qualify.
Yeah.
You know, so now each division has that rule of, okay, you have to have 3 wins. If you come up with only 6 teams, then you reshuffle. You know, it doesn't have to be equal across each division. If you don't have 3 wins, you don't have 3 wins. You know, so then I get it. Then you get a team maybe like a Billerica who is playing some wood all year long that has only a couple of wins, but has some really, really tough losses against North Andover. You know, so there's I guess there's defense on both sides, or arguments on both sides. But 0-7, that's kind of tough.
And by the way, just those fans in general, if you were thinking about going to the Tewksbury-Billerica game on Saturday, that game has been moved up to noon due to the extreme weather predicted for Saturday. One other thing, Methuen related. that has changed due to the weather. The Fall Festival, a big kids event in town, a big family event, has been moved from Saturday to Friday from 4 to 6. Listen, I want as many people at the Fall Festival. It's a great event for the families. I don't understand the decision to move it to Friday. I understand in terms of trying to get it done before Halloween, but you know what? Have it next Saturday. They can still wear their costumes. They've moved it to Friday from 4 to 6 at Gray Court Park. Now, listen. We're not saying not go. It's just now you're talking about all these families who are working, who aren't going to be able to be there. You're talking about conflicts with the folks that want to go to the football game. So I don't know.
I'm not commenting.
I'm going to stay out of that.
I'm not commenting.
Fair enough. I mean, they haven't talked to anybody. Decision was just announced earlier, so I'm not gonna lambaste anybody. There was obviously decisions behind it. It's the where they moved it just kind of is an odd time. So
how about those Red Sox?
How about those Red Sox? How about those Red Sox? How about those Rangers? How about those Rangers? We will talk to a couple of the football stars. We've got Ricky Brutus. We've got Isaac Frederic. We will bring them in right after the break here on what are we doing? Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care. The right care right now.
Qualifications, rules, and limitations apply. Rates, rewards, and restrictions may vary by account. Contact institution for details.
Tickets, popcorn, and sodas. That'll be $35. Cash or debit?
Debit! I mean, I'd like to use my debit card, please. Can I do it? All right. Swiping now.
What if paying with your debit card was always this exciting? Kasasa Cashback is a free checking account that pays you for everyday debit card purchases every month you qualify. Plus, with ATM withdrawal fee refunds nationwide, that's a lot of extra cash to spend on whatever you like.
Ask for Kasasa at the Savings Bank. Visit tsbawake24.com. Member FDIC, member DIF.
All right, a big shout out to the folks over at AFC Urgent Care. They've been big supporters of us since the beginning as the title sponsor of Ranger Nation Radio, and we are big fans of theirs. AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. You'll never need an appointment. Got that persistent cough and cold, that cut that needs a few stitches, or need a sports physical and don't want to wait weeks to get into your primary doctor? AFC's streamlined approach helps you be seen quickly and feel better fast. In Methuen, in the Merrimack Street Medical Professionals Building, 380R Merrimack Street. In North Andover as well, in the Burton Grill Plaza. 8 to 8, Monday to Friday. 8 to 5, Saturday and Sunday. Go to afcurgentcare.com for more details. I love talking about my man, Val Davila. It's a dream to own your own business, and Val and Susan Davila made that a reality in February 2013. They started with just 2 insurance carriers, but now Right in Place Insurance for Progressive, Safeco, Pilgrim, Plymouth Rock, and Mapfre, just to name a few. Need auto insurance, renters, commercial, or home? Davila and DeFusco prides itself in having lifelong roots in the Merrimack Valley. Put their experience to work for you. Visit them at 225 Broadway or call 978-241-7950 for a free quote, or visit them online at daviladefusco.com.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Lou's looking especially sexy tonight with the haircut.
Yeah.
There you go. Lou Blassie behind the glass. Classy Lou Blassie, all 22 Lou.
That's the shorter line of the two.
There you go. So, I want to tell you about a phenomenal fundraiser coming up. Got to get your tickets for the Edwards Twins. Fundraiser for the Methuen Ranger Marching Band. December 1st, 8 p.m., Arthur Nicholson Auditorium at Methuen High School. Edward Twins are returning to Methuen. Smash Hit Show came here last year. I took the whole family. I got to tell you,
Lou told me when I got here that you were taking him and I.
Absolutely.
That's the rumor.
Absolutely. I got you. You got to see it. It's just a phenomenal show. Two brothers. I mean, I think they market it as Two Brothers, 1,000 Stars. They do an incredible amount of impersonations of singers. Everybody from Ray Charles to Elton John to Billy Joel to Lady Gaga to Cher to Bette Midler. I mean, the Lady Gaga was amazing last year. And now, did I mention I've seen A Star Is Born? I don't know. Anyway, Lady Gaga.
Yes, stumping for A Star Is Born performance on this show.
I am. I'm
trying to program this show.
I want to get Lady
Oscars.
Gaga on the show. So this time they're doing their acclaimed holiday show. Like I said, I can't stop raving about it. I was texting people during the show, like in the first 10 minutes, like texting my sister, texting friends, like it's not too late to get here. You got to see this show. It's amazing. Sure to be a sold-out event. Tickets are $40 and $50 each. It can be purchased through the Fine Arts Department at Methuen High School by calling 978-722-6040, extension 2610, or going online to www.theedwardstwins.com. So get your tickets now for a phenomenal show. Sure to be another great fundraiser for the Methuen Ranger Marching Band. Also, a huge shout out to the crew at Al's Family Diner, celebrating 25 years as one of Methuen's go-to spots for a great breakfast. It is the go-to Saturday spot for Bill and I as we prep for MVC Gridiron Weekly. Hit Al's at 9, show for 10. Get our eggs, omelets, home fries.
So you missed the
Got to
step,
get
though.
the cornbread.
Al's at 9.
Yeah.
See Hector at 9:59.
9:59. Get
and
Hector
then start
in it.
the show at 10.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, you guys say this like you walk in at like 9:30. You guys walk in 5 minutes.
We're
before the
500
show.
yards down the road,
though.
slaving over stats.
Yeah, we are actually doing show prep.
We're watching the show from last week. I'm telling Tim the things he's doing wrong.
He's
things that he
correcting
should
me
get
on
better at.
pronunciations.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yes.
Show prep?
Yes, exactly. Shoe prep. The
Sat at the
blueberry
bar.
cornbread.
We sat at the bar this
we
Saturday.
did. I don't know about that. I love the breakfast bar in terms of carrying a conversation. And here was the bigger thing. They put the cornbread in the middle when we're at a booth. I feel like more like it's half mine.
I got blueberry. There was no sharing this week.
Yeah, okay, because when we're at the breakfast bar, like it's like should I? Cause
no, you would have got jabbed.
yeah, I would have got the Heisman. All right, fair enough.
Yep.
So Kelly said it's the best thing on the menu, and Tim and Bill, I agree. It was amazing.
The other cool thing too is
I wouldn't know.
Most of the kids that are
I did say I was bringing you some this week. I promise.
Yep.
no,
It took me like 8 weeks to get you a shirt.
I'll get you the corn. He's getting us tickets to the Edward Twins.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and all the kids that are working there are all high school kids.
Yep.
Methuen high school
Yep.
kids too. So let's get these guys.
Al's
on
is
here.
open. Let me finish.
yeah.
Al's is open 7 days a week, 6:30 to 11:45 a.m. at 500 Merrimack Street, as we said, right down the street from the studio, right next to Whirlaway Sports. Call them at 978-683-0920. Check them out online on Facebook. Al's Family Diner. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for sitting through our nonsense. Ricky Brutus, Isaac Frederic, stars of the MHS football team. How are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
We're good.
All right. I can already tell you we got to bring up the energy level.
Well,
We can't have low energy. Got to bring it. Guys, let me just start. Phenomenal season thus far. I know you don't want to, get too caught up in reading your own press, and it's far from over. Just give me your sense of this team, how this season's built for you guys.
Let me throw this out.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a rebuild year.
I hate that.
No, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to start the conversation.
Yeah.
You wanted to play last year. You were dying to play. You didn't get much varsity time. You were a junior. You're a heck of an athlete. You worked your tail off. You didn't get a lot of time either. So it was like, all right, rebuild year. So it was kind of like, wow, last year was awesome. You guys aren't going to be very good. You answered that pretty quickly early on. I start there. You know what I mean? Because you could talk about that.
So like it was just like we got a lot of hate like at the beginning of the season, like, oh, you guys are only gonna win 2 games, this, that, like, and now we're just out here and we're doing our thing and getting the wins that we need.
we had a lot of doubters. Like, no one really believed in us. Everyone was always saying, you guys are going to win that much. It's going to be really tough for you guys. You guys are young.
Where is that coming from? Is that coming from social media? Is that coming from inside the school, in the hallways? All of the above, like
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Mostly the former players, to be honest.
Oh, for real? Huh?
Yeah.
Which is good motivation to me as a kid who graduated high school. You never want the team after you to win the Super Bowl or get into the playoffs.
But it feels good to like shut them up.
Feels so good.
Right?
They don't say anything.
You see Quacky in the sideline, and you're putting up 48 touchdowns for the season. It's like, what's up, Pete? What's up, Pete?
Let me ask this though, and this isn't to slight the guys that graduated last year. This is not how I intended. But I don't know if they worked as hard as you guys did. You know, every kid that's been on the show, Ricky talked about, you know, winter football, 7-on-7s.
Yeah.
You know, the lifting. You won the Ironman this year throughout the whole
second
team.
place.
You know, you were, the top 5 are all kids right now that are contributing. Talk a little bit about the investment this year with off season and lifting and running and the amount of kids that participated compared to past.
I think like even just in general, everyone by themselves did a lot of work over the off season, and it's not just like the people who came to the field with us whenever we went. It was like all the linemen were getting their work done. Everyone was going to lifting. It was a lot of work, honestly.
In different ways, all of us was just like training and working hard for the season. Like this season, I've been waiting for this to come for so long. And all off season, just me and my boys, Kareem and Caleb, we like put ourselves in positions to just keep working hard and like shout out to trainers and stuff, like just to help us and just trying to find people that can help us up our game.
You just outdoing each other in terms of the training. Like one guy set a new mark. And just to break through for each of you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, at one point, Tim, I'm at the high school doing something, and there's Kareem, by himself with a ladder in the gym doing reps. No one's looking. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that I'm saying is no one really was like highlighting this is what I'm doing. People were just working their tail off on their own together, showing up wherever they can go. That to me is why you guys are at the position you're in.
I mean, because it's a cliche, but I mean that's when the players are made, when nobody's looking, and it's and the last few seasons on Hard Knocks, for instance, there's a lot of fun, and I think it's actually good as much as now we're looking. Now we see the early morning regimens. The practice, you put the work in, you get the results.
Yeah.
And you guys have got the results. You guys, the Tewksbury game, that's probably, just as an athlete, myself, the losses always stick in your craw more than you remember the win sometimes, and that's got to stick in your craw a little bit.
Yeah, I'll never forget that game.
Yep.
But I've said it to all the guys that have come in. I mean, that was a defining moment for you guys in terms of how you're going to react to it. And I don't know if any team could have reacted better in terms of just how you guys came together, got past it, learned from it, and just kept growing from there. Tell me about that moment after the Tewksbury game. Tell me about just living through that and where you guys were at and how you guys helped motivate everybody.
I think go ahead.
It hurt. I'm gonna be honest. After the game and on Monday, it was still in us. But then we have guys like Nick and Connor just telling us to just forget about it, and we got next week, and we still have a whole season ahead of us. Because it was only, I think that was our third game of the season, and
second.
Yeah, it was the second game.
Yeah.
So we knew we had a long way to go, and just guys like that, just telling us just forget about it, and just after that just prove to everyone else that we could still ball even though we just lost.
Yeah, he said it all. I mean, it was just right after the game, everyone was mad. Everyone was it was just it was awful. Everyone just wasn't feeling it. And then we got back Monday, still weren't feeling it that much, but we knew we had to get on to the next week and get on with it.
I'll tell you, nobody wanted to hear from me after the game, but I looked at all the positives in that game. You guys put up 30 in front of your first home game in front of the home crowd. And I mean, there was so much positive. If you guys, it's one thing for me to see it though. It's you guys have ultimately got to see it. And the way you guys rebounded from there, and then
It's where
turn those late game moments from that loss into wins time each week after week after week there. I mean,
I think that loss is what helped them have the guts and the tenacity the next 3 weeks to not, because you didn't want that feeling again of no, we're not going home with another loss like this. We're going to finish it. And talk a little bit about that Lowell game and that late little flick pass from Connor to you, and because you've had a couple of pretty neat touchdowns where you've kind of zigged and zagged and run some people over. Talk a little bit about some of that and what positions you play.
Honestly, on that last play, I did not think I was gonna get the ball to finish it at all, because it was a pass play. I forget what play it was, but like the pocket collapsed, and then like in the moment, me and Connor, we just made like eye contact, like we were just staring at each other while like the pocket was collapsing, and Connor just gave it to me, and then like I just ran to the outside. I didn't know where to go. I ran to the outside, and I saw 2 defenders. My coach was yelling, "Run out of bounds, run out of bounds." I didn't want to do that. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to win it for us, and then like God was with me, and then I was able to make the play.
Where were you for that?
I was injured. I hurt myself in the first half of that game.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that is the game you got hurt.
Talk about just coming back from that, because you've had to do some rehab in the middle of the season here.
Yeah, I haven't played defense in a few weeks. I'm back on the field this week, like 100%, but like it's at a whole new position. Like we're switching up everything for this game, so I'm excited for it.
Don't want to give any of the playbook away. but
let's just say
you are healthy.
Yeah.
Everybody, like the team in general, is probably the healthiest it's been all season. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think everyone's back.
Everyone's back. Yeah, everyone's got hurt, but like now everyone's back.
Yeah.
So
they're good. Acton Boxborough is a good team, but I think you guys are good too. I think the Central game showed if you're playing a good team and you make penalty after penalty and put yourself in a hole, it's going to be really hard to dig out of a 21-point lead like Lowell, where you guys just you were a better team and you won the game. Acton Boxborough, you can't do that. You have to be disciplined, no penalties. There's smack talking. You walk away, you go back in the huddle, and you do the business on the field.
Yeah, it's like we've been saying. Like we need to come out in the first half as strong as we come out in the second half, because that's been the main problem in most of the games.
Did you? So, I had some fans feeling like the Catholic game, the Central Catholic game. Oh my God, Hector! Yeah, was probably the first moment they saw any signs of you guys being outmatched. But it still didn't even feel that way. Is that accurate? Like it was more of the execution. It was more of the little things that really.
It was mental.
Yeah.
Not everyone was like ready for like a big game like that. Because like if we won that game, we won the whole MVC. Like we would have been MVC champs. And I just like everybody like we talked about it all week. It was a big game for everyone's, but I just feel like mentally not everyone's heads were there, and that's why like the scoreboard showed it.
Mm-hmm. As much as this team that you're playing is 7-0, as much as they're perennial powerhouse, does it help that they're not right next door to like Central, that you don't know that much about them other than the record, that you can just kind of go in fresh, obviously seeing a little tape, but in terms of just the aura around the team you're playing, not knowing that much?
Yeah, it's like we're not versing people we know. We're just going out there and playing football now. Like it's not people coming from Methuen, Lawrence, everywhere else to play at a different school.
Yeah, it's a little tough when you're playing a team that has 8 or 9 kids from your city playing on the team opposite you with 8 or 9 kids from a lot of other cities. So going up against Acton, as good as they are, it is another town, and at the end of the day, those are high school kids just like you. Yeah. If they worked harder in the weight room and off season, then they may pull it out. If you guys don't, but like you said, any given Friday night, you have an opportunity to win. Everyone's just got to play a good game.
I mean, look at what you guys, Malden Catholic, right?
That was that first game.
Yeah, I mean, look at what you did to Malden Catholic. Malden Catholic beat Lynn English, who is I mean.
And that was one of their scrimmages before the real scrimmage, so it was kind of like a scripted scrimmage, no blitzing and things like that. Lynn English.
Yeah.
They, good team. I mean,
they played really good against us.
They had a great passing game, and
It's so I mean it's one of those situations, and listen, you haven't played them, but I mean you see North Andover in the area, and they're having a phenomenal season in their own right in division number 1 in Division 2. But I mean, I don't know.
Ricky's pretty familiar with some North Andover players.
Small town.
He used to live there. So.
Yeah. So, how, in terms of the psyche going into this game, is everybody bought into this underdog thing? Is that where the focus is, or is it just we're not the underdogs?
I honestly don't know. I think we're all over the place. Like, depending on where you look in our team. Like, I feel pretty confident about the game, and I think most of like the DBs and backs do too. Like, all of our coaches just put in like tremendous work, like a lot more than you would think for a high school football team. Like, you know what I mean?
You feel confident that you're prepared.
Yeah.
I don't want to give AB any bulletin board material, but you feel confident that you're prepared.
Yeah, the game planning is crazy. So I think we're pretty good.
Awesome.
I think for this Friday night, I think any team that it's in the middle or up should be confident and should expect to win. Execute. You've had X amount of games in front of you to learn from. You've had an easy win. You've had some tough wins. You've had some tough losses, and now this is when it actually matters. Ricky, talk about playing both ways.
It's tiring.
Yeah.
Very, very tiring. Especially playing running back and safety, like getting hit every play, but like I gotta do what's best for my team, so it doesn't really matter.
What's your preference, getting hit or hitting?
Hitting. I'd much rather hit than get hit.
I thought your answer was going to be scoring touchdowns when I don't get hit.
I just gotta be. Listen. I got a quick first step. I always had a quick first step, but I don't have your moves. So it's just got to be amazing to be able to make those moves, to be able to go, and then they're on the ground behind you.
Yeah, that's what I worked on a lot of my off season because I need to get faster. I'm not like the fastest guy out there, so like I want to make sure I could avoid my defenders the best way I could.
Tell us a little bit in terms of, what was the favorite moment of the season for you guys?
I think I'd have to say the touchdown at Tewksbury was pretty good, but like, I don't know, I just didn't get the job done, so I don't know. That would be my favorite moment.
The best moment for me was definitely Malden Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot
kind of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And a couple other touchdowns as well.
In terms of just the folks that are kind of supporting you, tell us a little bit in terms of the folks that we don't see every day that got your back and have kind of helped get you to this point where you can shine in the spotlight.
Definitely my parents, always pushing me, like both of them, no matter where I am, what I'm doing, school, work, football, whatever it is, they're always there.
How many camps has your mom taken you to?
I did a camp in sophomore year where I had to go every Sunday. I had to go out to like Cambridge, and then we ended up going on a tournament to New Jersey. And we played in the 7-on-7 tournament, and she was like,
"Didn't I see you on the highway?"
Yeah,
in New Jersey.
I was like, it was a terrible ride and everything, but like it just ended up being a good tournament. And then we came home, and then I just did other camps. Like they take me wherever I need to go.
Yep, they do.
Ricky?
For me, my biggest supporters, to be honest, they're just my friends, like Caleb and Kareem. Like, they've been there for me throughout everything, especially with football. Like, they have the same intensity as I do, and it just, like, helps me out so much because they're there when, like I'm not thinking right or I'm bugging, and they're just there to put me right back where I need to be and, like, put me in my place where I need to be.
How about in the high school? Is there teachers, staff, anybody that's kind of helping you guys kind of do your thing?
I'd say a lot of the English teachers, honestly. Miss Rubino, Becky O'Sullivan, and Miss Cap, always there.
My English teacher, Miss Dumont, she puts us on like her board, like when we're on the newspaper.
Hey, by the way, big shout out to Miss Golubsky. Got promoted to assistant superintendent this week.
Okay.
Head of the English department at MHS. We've talked to her husband Matt, and big step. Big step.
That is.
Congratulations to Lisa and inspired pick. Really, kind of an off the board pick by Dr. Brandy Kwong.
Well, when you're the curriculum director, you kind of know the folks that know that. Yeah. So for her, it's probably not. It's probably a Belichick pick where she knows her stuff. Coach Sims just walked in. We're going to get him on, the golf coach, the voice of Methuen High School football and the varsity lacrosse coach in the spring. So we'll be getting him on in a couple of seconds.
What in terms of what you want from the rest of the season, whether it's the playoffs, whether it's Drake it on Thanksgiving, win or lose this week, season's not over for you. Still a few games. What do you want out of your remaining time on the field this season?
I think we just want it all. We want all the wins we could get.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just something like we just want to prove everyone wrong for what they've
that's
been
the
saying.
biggest thing is just like everyone's doubted us so much, and the season's not even over. So I just want to keep proving everybody wrong and just making them like have to tell me, oh yeah, my bad. Like I like hearing that.
Have you heard that from Peter or from Bryce?
They won't say it to my face,
Travis,
but I know they're thinking
or
it.
Jordan. Any of those guys showing up. David.
They wouldn't be able to spit it out.
They won't say it.
But at the end of the day, I think with the North,
they are proud. I know that much.
When you have Everett, when you have Acton-Boxborough, you have Lexington, Central. And no disrespect to the other divisions, but I think with the way the Division I is, it's almost like a playoff game each Friday. I mean, a Super Bowl each Friday. You know, the way the old playoff system was, it was one team would get in at the very end, and that was it. These are some legit matchups that each week it's, you know, you win or you go home. To me, that's a little mini Super Bowl in itself.
Gentlemen, we appreciate you coming in. Any projects, anything you want to promote in terms of Twitter, social media, anything, you know, like your talk show guests on the couch. Anything
Isaac, what's going on for you next year? Are you looking at schools or?
Yeah, I'm looking at a few. I think I'm looking more toward track though. I'm looking toward the triple jumping wherever I go.
Nice.
You're pretty good at that, huh?
Okay, I guess.
Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to promote? Any shout outs?
That I can think of.
How about go Friday night to Acton-Boxborough?
Yeah.
That's it.
Come support Ranger Nation. I think we're going to need a nice big crowd in there to kind of help out a little bit and be a 12th man.
Ricky Brutus, Isaac Frederic from the Rangers football team. Huge congratulations on what you've done so far. Friday night, 7 p.m.
Yes.
At Acton-Boxborough. Directions, all of the information in terms of tickets at Methuen Sports on Twitter, and we'll share that here as well. But congratulations on the season thus far. Can't wait to see what's next, and really appreciate you coming into Ranger Nation Radio.
Thank you.
All right, guys. All right, quick break. We will come back with Jason Sims. I don't know. He's everything. He's golf. He's lacrosse. He's the voice of the Rangers. We'll talk to him.
Senior advisor, isn't he?
Yes, we will talk to him after the break on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care. All right, a big shout out to the folks over at AFC Urgent Care. They've been big supporters of us since the beginning as the title sponsor of Ranger Nation Radio, and we are big fans of theirs. AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. You'll never need an appointment. Got that persistent cough and cold, that cut that needs a few stitches, or need a sports physical and don't want to wait weeks to get into your primary doctor? AFC's streamlined approach helps you be seen quickly and feel better fast. In Methuen, in the Merrimack Street Medical Professionals Building, 380R Merrimack Street. In North Andover as well, in the Burton Grill Plaza. 8 to 8 Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. Go to afcurgentcare.com for more details. I love talking about my man Val Davila. It's a dream to own your own business, and Val and Susan Davila made that a reality in February 2013. They started with just 2 insurance carriers, but now Right in Place Insurance for Progressive, Safeco, Pilgrim, Plymouth Rock, and Mapfre, just to name a few. Need auto insurance, renters, commercial, or home? Davila and DeFusco prides itself in having lifelong roots in the Merrimack Valley. Put their experience to work for you. Visit them at 225 Broadway or call 978-241-7950 for a free quote, or visit them online at daviladefusco.com.
Qualifications, rules, and limitations apply. Rates, rewards, and restrictions may vary by account. Contact institution for details.
Tickets, popcorn, and sodas. That'll be $35. Cash or debit?
Debit! I'd like to use my debit card, please. Can I do it?
Okay.
All right. Swiping now.
What if paying with your debit card was always this exciting? Kasasa Cashback is a free checking account that pays you for everyday debit card purchases every month you qualify. Plus, with ATM withdrawal fee refunds nationwide, that's a lot of extra cash to spend on whatever you like.
Ask for Kasasa at the Savings Bank. Visit tsbawake24.com. Member FDIC, member DIF.
Back here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care. A couple shout-outs to a couple of our sponsors. You in the mood for otherworldly pizza and calzones? Want the best cheesesteaks and steak tips in the Merrimack Valley? Get over to see John and Tanya and the crew at Bada Bing. It's a great place to watch the game at the Bada Boom Lounge next door as well. Check them out at 32 Hampshire Street. It's not your ordinary pizza joint, and the crew goes above and beyond for the kids of Methuen and for every customer they serve. Just was over there a couple days ago, having some lunch with Mr. Rich La Rochelle, and had the steak and cheese. Magnificent as always. Check out their menu at badabingmenu.com. And then also a huge shout out to Jennifer Canan. Getting ready to buy or sell your home? You need a realtor that will quarterback your sale from listing to closing. Jennifer Canan is that realtor that gets it done, serving you for all your real estate needs. She's a member of the Century 21 Northeast Luxury Homes and Estates team and is an expert on the New Hampshire and Massachusetts home market. Put her expertise to work for you. Call Jennifer at 978-360-6145. Jennifer has been a huge lifelong supporter of Ranger Nation, and we're proud to have her part of Ranger Nation Radio.
And Lou, good news. She had a conversation with Julia, because Julia was talking about buying a house, and she explained what a mortgage payment was, and Julia's going to put that on hold.
Going to back off on it for a couple years?
Put that back on hold. Hey, going back to Bada Bing.
Hey, real estate investment, always good, though.
14 years old, though? Maybe not. Going back to Bada Bing, though, the burgers.
She could also always get a cosign.
Yeah, right. Dad?
Definitely not happening with me. But Bada Bing, one of their little secret gems is their burgers.
Highly
their
underrated.
Burgers are highly underrated.
Under the radar. Yeah, I mean, listen, and that's the thing. It's like everybody takes the burgers for granted. The restaurants don't. You know, like everybody thinks you can get a good burger everywhere. No, you can't.
No.
You really can't. And it's the restaurants that really put the work into it. And Bada Bing, they put a work into everything. But yeah, I co-sign that statement, my friend. Well played. All right.
Coach Sims.
Coach Sims.
Exciting little hockey, little golf season this year.
Yeah, it's a very different sport than coaching lacrosse or kind of anything else. It's the only sport I know where you're not allowed to coach during the match. You can just kind of talk to the guys, but give them, like when Grace was in here, kind of said, like, give them a little fist pump, tell them, hey, you got this. But other than that, it's on them during the match. So it's a very mental game, and it's very different to coach. You just gotta kind of lay back.
So you're pretty much saying you did nothing this year for the team? Is that? I don't. That's what I heard, Lou. I don't know.
So you're donating back to stipends.
Yeah. but to be perfectly honest, with the game, so much of it is at practice. So much of it
Absolutely.
is what the kids put in themselves. But then, I would say one of my biggest jobs is kind of putting them in the right mindset, putting them in the mindset to play, putting them. It's so individual, it's so mental that it's kind of having those conversations and building the relationships with these guys. And some practices I'm out there just kind of cruising around, staying back. Sometimes I'm really in, being like, why are you taking the shot? What's your thought process when we play home? Like, how are you going to play this? And you can do a little bit here and there. The coaches in the conference are awesome. So we kind of let each other do a little bit more than we probably should, just because we want to help the kids.
I've got to ask why. Why? What's the problem with coaching kids during a match? It's exactly what you want.
It's the whole idea. It's a lot of it is we follow the PGA and the all those rules, and kind of in match when they're in the match they can kind of help each other, but you are removed from it. You're more asking them what the score is, what it is.
I just don't know why
golf and tennis.
Why it's there? I know tennis does that too.
They're antiquated when it comes to that.
And we don't have officials either. They officiate themselves. If anyone, we have to
that's
make
a golf thing. Too.
Yeah, and we have to make the final call. What's nice is that many of the other coaches, or at least 3 or 4 of the other coaches, are pros. So those guys, when you play against them, I can kind of let them make the decisions. But yeah, a lot of it, and at the same time, like the van ride over every time is that's when I'm doing the coaching. On an away match, I turn the radio off and I'm driving the van and I'm saying, all right, so this is this team, this is where we're playing. On this hole, remember you have this. On this hole, remember you have this. And kind of going through and walking through and kind of mentally getting them into the game and mentally getting them ready for the match.
You just gave me kind of a question I wasn't thinking of. So if you're playing Tewksbury, are the kids able to go the week before on a weekend and play the course? And
So it totally depends on the course. Tewksbury plays Trailbrook. It's a public course. This year we actually did do a practice round there. It just happened to work out that it was the Tuesday that we didn't have school. We played the next day. So me and like the varsity kids all went over. Some of the other ones, like when we play at Renaissance, that's where Andover plays. We don't have
here.
But we don't have the option. It's a private course. North Andover Country Club is probably my least favorite. It's a very funky, old, weird course. Crazy dog legs, holes over the road. It's just a weird little 9-hole track, and kids don't have an opportunity to play it. So if you're lucky enough to be really good as a freshman, maybe your junior year, you play them again. And they're a perennial power in our league right now. They just won the Division I North sectionals.
Congratulations to them.
Oh yeah. They had 3 kids on the all conference team, and actually I think they're number 1 at MVCs last week. Had kind of a down day, shot in the mid 80s. But their number 3 shot like a 77.
Oh wow.
So like they're all right there. They're coached by the North Andover Pro, and he's got these kids are very serious, and it's a different world when they're members over there. And
Jason, golf is hard enough to play. Why in the world would you want to coach it?
I love it. I love the mental side. I love kind of helping them, and I don't know. It's funny because I fell into it when I came to Methuen. I actually was going to help out with soccer. I was a soccer guy. I volunteered for double sessions. I was at double sessions for the first week, but I wasn't getting paid. They had the coaches, but I was like, I want to be involved in coaching in some way. Like I'd already talked to lacrosse. I knew that I was going to be helping out there. And then first day, Jeff Osgood stood up and said, I need a JV coach. His assistant coach, his little brother, had quit on him, and he's like, I need a JV coach. And I was like, I'm interested, and I talked to him, and we had a good talk, and I was like, I didn't play high school golf, but I had 4 or 5 friends that did. I'm an avid golfer. I know how all this works. He's like, you'll be perfect. I did it for 2 years, and then when he got promoted, he kind of turned to me and was like, I already think you do a better job than me. Like, do you want to just take it over? And it's funny because within the conference, it's 2 very separate types of coaches. You have the golf pros that work at the course, that kind of work with the kids, and then you have the coaches. And it's us that are, a lot of us coach other sports. Coach Fazio from basketball, he's the Andover golf coach. Coach Sullivan in Tewksbury, he was the former basketball coach, and he's involved in youth football with his kids and baseball. And so it's if you're not a pro, then you're just an experienced coach, and you've coached other things, and you can kind of work on that. My JV coach is Coach Jeff Doucette, who's Billy Blackwell's freshman baseball coach. So he's a baseball first guy that kind of knows how to coach, knows how to kind of help the kids, kind of support the kids, because that's kind of where we are. Helping the kids, supporting them, trying to get them to improve. The biggest thing for us is trying to get them to love the game, because you have to put that time in. You have to spend an hour to a couple days a week chipping and putting and going to the range and really putting the work in and playing.
And the muscle memory.
And playing,
there, I'd imagine,
exactly.
right?
The muscle memory is the biggest thing, and playing in tournaments.
Yep.
So our guys, and I say to them every year, and I've got a couple kids that have really started to take on to this, but yeah, you go and play with your buddies or you play with your dad. That's one thing. You're not making high.
We're talking
huts.
about practice.
Exactly.
Not the game. We're talking about practice.
But it's also the there's a huge junior PGA scene in high school, junior PGA. The kids that are going on to play at the next level are not getting recognized because of their high school season. They're getting recognized because they played all summer and they played in these tournaments. The format that we play and the fact that we're playing after school and you're playing 9 holes, it doesn't represent itself well to transition to the next level. These kids that played in these tournaments all year. Now, if you're the player of your conference and you win your conference tournament and you win the states, yeah, that's just added bonus. Right. But they're not getting recognized because of their high school season. They're getting recognized from their summer stuff.
You mentioned it though. You're playing after like that. To me, that's the impossible part of this. Like when you're golfing, you got to let everything else go. And for these kids to let the day go and let all the stresses of school life go and just be on the course and be with the ball.
And I think one of my favorite parts, and it's funny, it wasn't as big of a deal now, like when I first started coaching, but now they can't have their cell phones on. They can't be checking their phone. They can't, because they don't want them communicating to each other. They can't use GPS
devices.
Apple Watches,
yeah.
Apple Watches we're not as strict on.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're not. Their phones are away.
Right.
It's actually you could forfeit your match if you take your phone out. So it's always funny.
I couldn't imagine golfing without my phone.
But you see these kids come off the 9th hole. And half of them, I'm like, oh, finish up the card. First thing they do is they go to their bag.
What happened?
And they take out their phone. Yeah, it's the quietest bus ride home because they're all on their phone, missing up on what they had or checking up back on
social
the last
media,
2 hours. But they, but yeah, and it's great to see kids. And I think for us, so many of our kids, it's their third sport. I have probably only 1 or 2 kids that golf is really starting to become their priority. I have a sophomore who's really taking on to it, and then Zach Alfonso, who junior, was the number 3 all year, and he
just kept coming
played all summer.
Yeah.
Played all summer. He worked over at Merrimack and played all summer long. He's a hockey and lacrosse kid too, so for him it's a third sport. But I think he's getting to the point where it might kind of trump those sports, and we're starting to get these kids that are kind of doing that. But like last year we had Brett Blackwell, that it was clearly his third sport, but he was like a stroke or 2 away from advancing to the state finals last year. Yeah. Devin Coonrat, the captain this year, is a hockey baseball kid. He's been playing since his freshman year, and for him it's it's at least a second, if not third sport. But he's played some of his best golf. Last week at the MVC Championship at Vesper Country Club, he shot an 11 over 83, and it was just he'd shot a 35 on the front 9 at Merrimack 2 weeks ago and beat the kid from Chelmsford. So he was really starting, and it's great to just see these kids.
You always want to end strong.
Exactly.
In whatever sport, and you guys definitely did.
Oh yeah, we ended with 3 wins, which was phenomenal.
How key is having Merrimack?
Oh, it's unbelievable what they're able to give to us and how awesome they all are.
It's not just the course. It's not just the access to the course. The family and their support of the team's got to be pretty amazing. Oh, yeah. And all the time, all the starters, all the people in the office. Actually, one of their workers in the office is a former golfer of mine, Chris Quinn. He was graduated probably 3-4 years ago, and he's always like, oh, how'd you guys do? Oh, I saw it on Twitter that so-and-so won, and this and that. And like, oh, I saw that kid here all summer. How's he been doing? So it's definitely this community there of helping. And they're just getting so crazy with the amount of people that are playing there, and it's amazing. So we got a couple minutes in terms of just shout-outs. Tell us, just like, run us through the team in terms of the. We obviously talked to Grace. We mentioned Devin. But tell us about the team and just all the players you're proud of.
So I'll kind of go in order. Golf, like tennis, kind of you go in order.
Number one, number two.
Number one was Devin, who is, I think he's here. I don't know if we can catch him on for the last couple minutes. He's down in the office. And then Eddie Mrzowski, who is also a hockey goalie, was number 2 all year. So they played in a group together. Zach Alfonso kind of took hold of the 3 spot, who's also a hockey goalie. So my 1, 2, 3 are all hockey goalies. Number 4 for most of the year was Joshua Frechette. He's a sophomore. He's kind of one of my he's a golf first kid. He did all the junior PGA stuff over the summer. He really was able to kind of take ownership of this and put a goal in mind. 5 was CJ Brown, wrestler.
Frechette. Is it Tim?
Yep. Tim's son.
Tim's son?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And then
Savings Bank sponsor the
show.
show.
Oh yeah, he's a huge sponsor for everything I do.
Yep.
And then CJ Brown, wrestler. He played 5 this year. He's played since his freshman year. He kind of came on strong at the end of the year, so he was a great junior. And then 6 was Jacob Doucette, hockey player. And then 7, 8 was Corey Wheeler and Grace.
Okay, cool.
So that was kind of the eight guys that we had there.
So we got Devin just walked in, very much in the golf attire.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Saw the hybrid attire on Twitter, the golf hat, the hockey shirt.
Yeah.
So we got a couple minutes. Let's just tell us in terms of just the season and progression that you made throughout the season.
I mean, I think that it's just getting out there to play as much as you can, because the more you play and like just the more you get used to just hitting smooth and like just playing your own game, and then everyone else worries about the rest. Like one kid focuses on himself, and then we're all successful, then we end up winning as a team. But even if we're not successful, like every kid's out there trying their heart out, so it's whether we win or lose, it's all about how much effort you put in, and like did you do your best for that day. So
talk about your run at the end. Was it Vespa that you went to? And
yeah.
Talk a little bit about that and just the intensity of now you're not representing the team as much.
Yeah,
definitely. Talk a little bit about.
Yeah, so at that point it's the Vesper was the first 3 guys, so that was pretty. I mean, it was individual in a way, but in a way it was also like us 3 that had to represent the whole team. So I mean, going to a different course that you've never played, and that like is definitely a lot more challenging. Is just you just kind of have to adapt and just play your own game, whether you're playing good or not. It's just about, again, like how much effort you put in, like what can you do to succeed at that point.
Outside of Coach Sims, who really has supported you and really like helped that love of golf along for you?
So actually, my grandfather, who passed away a couple of years ago, he was the one who really, like, he got me out to play so much to a point where I was like, do I really want to go out today? Do I not want to go out today? But yeah, he started, like, after that, like, he made me love the game so much. And like every Saturday, Sunday morning, it was like, do you want to go play? You want to go play 9 at the par 3 at Brookstone in New Hampshire? So I was like, yeah, of course I want to. And just being out there and just loving the game more.
Brookstone's the one on near Hampstead, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've played there.
And before, it was like his freshman, sophomore year, before his grandfather unfortunately passed away, he was at everything.
Yeah.
He was Devin's biggest supporter. Devin played
What's
varsity.
your grandfather's name?
Kenneth Kunad.
Kenneth.
Yeah.
And Devin was playing kind of end of the round 7-8 as a freshman, sophomore. So he's been here all 4 years, and kind of watching him grow into that spot it's just been awesome for me as a coach, just to see him improve and see, because I could see the potential from him as a freshman. I could see that he could potentially be a great golfer, and it stinks that you look at his record at the end of the year and he only has a couple of wins, but he's playing against the best golfers in the conference. So he's playing against Andover's best golfer and Central's best golfer, and every day in, day out, and he was in every match this year. There was very few matches that it was like, oh, I lost on the 5th, 6th hole. It was like, oh, I lost on the 8th. I'm tied going into the 9th and missed the putt. And yeah, he would get mad at himself, but rightfully so. You put all that time and all that effort in. Like, I would be more upset if he wasn't upset with himself.
Right.
And you got over it, and then you got the momentum and ended the year really strong. Had some awesome wins and a great performance at Vesper and a great performance at another really challenging course on Monday at Turner Hill in Ipswich.
Yeah, tell us about Turner Hill.
I mean, definitely a lot different than the courses we played around here. Just like the layout of some of the holes and
like PGA legit sort of, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Like even just like looking at some of the holes, like with like the green right next to a water with like rock bed like on the side. It's just
no, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
I think I posted a couple pictures because I wasn't with him. Gorgeous, but you're looking. If you actually kind of look at those pictures, there's a hole there.
Yeah.
And there's a water, and it's like island green, and it was a windy, cold day. So
yeah, it's definitely intimidating, but you just gotta pretend like it's not even there and just focus on getting that ball like as close to the stick as you can.
So Devin, let me say this: probably not a lot of love in the high school if you win a match, walking down the hall. Oh, there's the golfer.
What's up?
All that stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say this: as an adult who does a lot of tournaments, the Boosters is running a big golf tournament coming up this July to raise money for the high school athletes, the high school sport. Later on, 19, 20, 21, when you start getting calls and being asked to be on a foursome, don't pay. Say you're
never
be
pay.
On the foursome, I'm the hired gun.
I was number one on the high school team.
We
never pay.
We did our end of the year scramble today, and Coach Doucette and I both played. We had a little draft, and I have to tip my cap because Devin's team was the winning team at what, 2 under?
I think it was 4.
4 under.
Never short.
Yeah.
Never short.
Yeah.
Don't pay.
Never short me the strokes.
I go to the threesome that tells me come on in the foursome, and there's no money exchanged.
Yeah.
So you're not getting a lot of love in high school,
Wait a
but
second.
you will later
That's
on.
after
road, yeah.
NCAA, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We got like a minute left here, Devin. Any shout outs that you want to get out there just in terms of family, friends?
I mean,
Math teacher, coach.
Yes.
I've never had Sims as a coach, but he's a great coach. He's helped me, since I was a freshman. He had trust in me and faith in me, and then along with my parents beside. So just always pushing me to get better and stay motivated and keep me on track, especially in school too,
What's next year looking for you as a graduate, and what are you looking to do?
Well, hockey's next.
Yeah.
College-wise, I meant.
Yeah, college-wise, I think my number one would be Worcester Polytechnic. So, WPI.
Whoa.
But, I mean,
that's legit.
Yeah.
What are you looking to do? What are you looking to do
architectural
nice.
engineering, yeah.
Phenomenal. It's a great school.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of, do you think any thoughts of continuing with the sports in college, or?
I think
that's a tough school to be.
Yeah.
To be split in time there.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to play sport, either hockey or golf, but I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's kind of just like starting to get focused on like my career and like what I actually believe I could do.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Golf will always be there.
Absolutely, and especially when you get into the business world, it's phenomenal skill.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a regular in the Booster Golf Tournament in July, though.
Absolutely. Huge shout out to Jason Sims, to Devin Kurat, and congratulations with the golf. Good luck with the hockey season.
Thank you.
Want to thank Ricky Brutus, Isaac Frederic. You got a final from volleyball.
Volleyball wins.
Win on senior night.
They won on senior night.
Phenomenal. All right, Friday. Listen, Friday. Rain or whatever. Get out there. Friday, 7 p.m. Get the information. I think the tickets are $10 for adults, like
$7
for students. So, get out, support your Rangers. This is a team that every kid deserves your support, but this team has been underrated the entire season. It's just continued to earn our respect every single week. Absolutely. So for Lou Blasi, for Bill Bryant.
And hopefully we'll see Devin in the winter.
Absolutely.
For hockey.
Absolutely. We will get you in. We'll get you in for more time. For hockey, for sure.
Sounds awesome.
Especially, what's the award in hockey? The hard hat?
Yeah, we do a hard hat. So
hard
after
hat.
every game.
Absolutely, we'll get you in after one of the hard hat awards.
A quick shout out to Bill Blackwell. He made it to, what, 2-3 matches this year?
Yeah, he did.
And I kind of joke with him that between baseball and hockey, that 3/4 of my team, I just pass over to him.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a nice little pass over these kids now that golf season's over. Devin's on to hockey season, and I've officially transitioned to lacrosse season. So.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen, huge thank you for coming in. Huge thank you to Lou, to Bill, Tim Wood. We will be back with you. I'm back for Looped In Live tomorrow, Thursday at 11 a.m. here on check your local listings online at Loop Weekly Methuen on Facebook. MVC Gridiron Weekly, you see the logo on the bill. 10 a.m. Saturday, we will be talking playoff football. Hopefully talking about a Ranger win and talking about all the MVC playoff action. For now, listen, catch us online, catch us on demand, catch us next week, 7 p.m. Wednesday. We'll be back at you next week on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Have a good week, everybody.
Peace.